Let's take components of some rights and try to identify the corresponding state obligations to respect, protect, and fulfill. Right to vote, or specifically, the right to cast vote on the election day. Respect. The state shall not intimidate the voter or force the voter to cast vote in favor of a particular candidate or political party. Protect. On the day of election, the state shall provide adequate law enforcement near the polling booths so that people feel free to vote for the candidate or political party of their choice. Fulfill. The state shall provide an adequate system of information so that voters are able to find out the location of their polling booths. Right to freedom from torture, or specifically, a person detained in police custody has the right not to be subjected to torture. Respect. Police, an agency of the state, shall not torture a person detained in its custody. Protect. In a case where allegations of torture by a police officer is received, the state must initiate an investigation into the case and take such actions that are necessary according to the law and its constitution. Obligation to fulfill. The state must enact law that recognizes torture in police custody as an offense and establish independent mechanisms for initiating investigation and prosecution of police and other state officers accused of using torture methods. Right to free primary education. Equal right of every child to access primary education. Obligation to respect. The state shall not discriminate against any child in granting access to primary education. Obligation to protect. The state shall establish regulatory mechanisms to monitor that public schools do not discriminate against children on the basis of prohibited grounds. Obligation to fulfill. In case children from marginalized groups such as migrant workers, indigenous populations, or children of parents living with HIV/AIDS or the girl child face social discrimination and because of such discrimination are not able to access primary education, state shall take targeted steps to remove such discrimination and encourage parents to enroll their children in schools. Right to food, or right to nutritious food. Obligation to respect. The state should not take any action that diminishes the nutritional quality of the food that is available. Obligation to protect. The state has to take actions against those who are responsible for adulteration and contamination of food and food resources. Obligation to fulfill. The state should develop standards that help in ensuring and maintaining adequate nutritional quality of food. Identify the obligation to respect, protect, and fulfill for my right to peaceful assembly and my right to adequate health care.